Okay, these are complete the square questions where you apply these given formulas. And when it comes to completing the square, we went over one method, but that method only works if the coefficient of x squared is 1. If this is something other than 1, it becomes harder. So your goal is to avoid such circumstances at all costs. Okay, so your goal is to avoid that situation at all costs. Okay, so the way you do it is by factoring out a 2. And if you do that, this 2 can be brought outside the integral because it's like multiplication of 1/2, right? So now we have to figure out what to do with x squared minus 6x plus 10. So let's ask this question. First, what goes inside the square?
X minus 3.
Where does 3 come from?
You cut 6.5.
Yeah, you take this middle number, cut it in half, that's 3. Okay. So that's step 1. The second step is you ask, what number should I place it here so that this squared plus this number matches with the constant value here? Okay. So negative 3 squared is positive 9.
So
9 plus what is 10?
1.
1. Got it?
Right, yeah.
Now let's switch places because over here x is on the right side. In the formula, the constant is on the left side. So to use this formula, it's better to see if we switch places. So we have 1/2 integral 1 over, and 1 is 1 squared, right? It's better to make it look like this, right? So it's 1 squared plus x minus 3 squared dx. And now if you compare with this, a is 1, and instead of x, you have x minus 3, right? Instead of this x, you have x minus 3. So we're going to use the formula. But be careful, whenever you pull some number out, it's easy to forget it's still there. And it's 1 over what? 1 over?
So
A is 1, right? So it's 1 over 1. Arctan of what? X minus 3. Instead of x, you have x minus 3 divided by 1. And if you simplify, this is 1/2. Let's write 10 inverse. Same thing. X minus 3. Okay, same idea here. Let's just work on completing the square. So you have negative u squared minus 4u plus 12. And because we really want the number in front of u squared to be 1, what should we do? Pull out a negative 1. Factor a negative 1 out so that you get u squared plus 4u minus 12. Okay, now, what goes inside the square? U. What goes inside the square? U plus 2, because it's the half of 4, right? And now the question is, 2 squared plus what matches with negative 12?
4 plus 8.
2 squared is 4. 4 plus what gives you negative 12? Negative 16, yes. Negative 16, right? 4 plus negative 16 gives you negative 12. And then now you have to multiply this out again so that this becomes 16 minus u plus 2 squared. And because your purpose is, so remember this goes inside the square root, right? So now the entire square root looks like that. But the purpose is to compare with this one. So I want to rewrite 16 as what's something squared. Okay. So what is it? 16 is what squared? 4 squared. 4 squared. Okay. So you put 4 squared minus u plus 2 squared. And therefore, this is integral of 1 over square root of 4 squared minus u plus 2 squared. And now if you compare this one with what you have here, a is 4, and then x is replaced by u plus 2. Therefore, the integral would be arc sine u plus 2 divided by 4 plus c. So that's how you do these questions.